Hey guys, thanks for watching Retro Tech Toys. I wanted to show you this really cool thing here I got. It's the Raspberry Pi 4. It's the 2GB version with a 32GB SD card included. It also comes with a case, all the cables, a switch so you can switch it on and off. It has heat sinks. It has all sorts of cool stuff with it. One problem is that the SD card that it came with was actually broken in half, and I found that out the hard way, and I've got it in here. I'll show you later. This is the starter kit. This one here cost about 89 bucks. Let's open it up and we will see what's inside. All right, let's get it open, and we have a readme first. Got another thing here. It's just like, hey, thanks for buying this from us. There was a micro to regular HDMI. There's the switch that you plug into the USB-C port that helps you switch on and off the Raspberry Pi 4. And here is the USB-C power adapter. And there's the SD card. It doesn't look broken in half, but I'll show you later. It was snapped. And just a bunch of other stuff in here, like there's heat sinks, and there was a USB card reader and a case. And the case is pretty cool. It actually takes a fan, but it didn't come with a fan. I thought it would, but it didn't. And one of the reasons why I got the Raspberry Pi 4 was because I want to use it as a retro gaming machine. And I wanted to see if it could replace a desktop computer, because I've been hearing a lot of talk that it actually can, and I'm not sure if it can or not, so I'd like to find out. I got the 2GB model because instead of the 4GB model. The 4GB model was sold out, plus I don't think for a retro channel, I don't really need 4GB of RAM in anything. So I think this thing will do really well as the 2GB model. The only problem is that the 2GB of RAM is shared between the computer itself and the video. But here's all the great stuff that came with it. There's a little card that shows you how to put the heat sinks in, and pretty much your basic stuff. And there's the Pi itself. I'm sorry about the focus. You've got 4 USB ports on the back and an Ethernet connection. You have various connectors that you can use for various things. There's an audio port on it, and you've got 2 HDMI, a USB-C for charging. There's all sorts of really great ports on it. It also has built-in Bluetooth and built-in Wi-Fi. I mean, this is seriously a very, very beefy build compared to all the other ones. But anyway, here it is. It's all in the case. I've got the power plugged in. I've got the switch plugged in, and then the power plugged into the switch, and we're gonna hook it up, and we're gonna see if this thing can actually replace a regular desktop or laptop PC for the average user. Let's go ahead and plug in our audio. We're gonna plug in everything. And I do have to apologize beforehand. My microphone did not capture any audio on this part of the video, but I will make up for that when we test this with games. So there was the broken in half SD card. Isn't that fun? Anyway, I've got this thing super sped up because I know you don't want to sit here and watch the installation. Well, here it goes. It is all booted up. And let's get it set up. I'm also going to race through this because there's no point in making you sit through this. And after we get it set up, we're going to do a couple of basic things. Now we're going to go through and see what's included on the Raspbian install. Let's go ahead and check out Minecraft that usually comes with Raspbian. I couldn't get this to maximize, but that's okay. We'll test it out this way. And let's see if it runs well. I remember when I had this on my, was it like my Raspberry Pi 2? I know that it didn't run well at all. But, you know, as you can see here, you know, there's no lag or any kind of issues. Everything worked great on it. And I'm going to play through it for just a few minutes here so you can see. Look, you can, you know, there's no lag. I've opened up the screen to select blocks, and it just runs really well. And that's probably because of a quad-core processor, along with the 2GB of RAM that you've got there. And I'm trying to make it bug out, and I can't. So, you know, it works really well. I think this is going to make a really cool gaming machine for retro gaming, maybe even some sort of modern stuff. And we'll definitely go through that in a future episode, which I'm actually in the process of recording right now. but I didn't want to put too much in one video. I like to keep my videos around 10 to 20 minutes, and this one was about 10 minutes. So you can see that worked beautifully, and we're going to turn it off. And we were doing that, by the way, while the system was updating, and there was still no lag. So let's go ahead and check out some other stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of cool programming tools and a lot of good utilities. So let's open Chromium, and we will go to YouTube, because YouTube is a pretty challenging website to load on, a very basic machine. And make no mistake, this is still a pretty basic machine, but it's a lot more advanced than previous models. We'll see if we can get anything to load, and we'll see if it's jumpy at all. Anyway, here we are at YouTube, and I noticed it did take a little bit of time to load. I have my Wi-Fi on, and my Wi-Fi router is in the other room, so I went ahead and turned that off, and we're just going to use the Ethernet connection now. Let me search up my channel here, and as you can see, it loads a lot faster when I just have the Ethernet hooked up. Let's find a video here that we don't mind checking out, and we'll have a look here. Yeah, it loads right up, and I'm pretty sure that's 1080p quality. And I'm sorry, I tested the volume, but my mic didn't pick up any sound. But I will tell you that the sound was great, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of lag. I noticed it jumped a little bit when I skipped ahead, but I mean, this is a basic computer, and that's pretty normal. You can see a couple little artifacts there as it plays, but it does an okay job. And I would imagine if you knock the video down to 720p, you would have smooth sailing all the way. But 1080 does work if you don't mind the occasional jump or buffer. I'm pretty impressed actually, because the last Raspberry Pi that I tried to access YouTube with, which like I said was the Raspberry Pi 2, it didn't do so well. But anyway, that's it for YouTube. We see it plays YouTube beautifully. Let's check out the Office software that it comes with. It comes with LibreOffice. And here's, the equivalent of Word. Let's see if we get any lag when we try to type anything. I didn't test email or anything like that, because I imagine everything else works. Email should work just fine. And here you go. I'm typing out a little test sentence here, and there's no lag. It works beautifully. So I'm starting to believe the hype that the Raspberry Pi 4, even the 2GB model, could replace a very basic desktop or laptop PC. If you've got an aging computer and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think it would work. But anyway, that's it for this one. Now when I come back on part 2, I am absolutely going to test this thing with gaming. We're going to put Batocera Linux on there, and if that doesn't work, we'll try like RetroPie and a few other things. So check that out. That should be coming in a couple of days, and thank you for watching Retro Tech Toys.